All right, we're on. We're on live. All right, let's start. Hey, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon to those on the East Coast and Central Time. Good morning to viewers from California. We are back again with another Bolide webinar today. It's going to be a good one. It'll be a good one. It'll be a good information for you, the integrators, especially knowing what you have available for your customers, because this new stuff is it will set you guys apart. It's really interesting stuff. So, webinar today is about panoramic cameras. My name is Ken Miguel, and joining me today is Mike Lugo. Mike,
Everybody doing? Great.
Doing all right. Okay. It's a cloudy day here in California, but we'll make it work. Cameras still look great. And let's go talk about panoramic cameras. For our viewers on Zoom, you will notice a chat box on your screen. So we're going to be answering questions as we move along with this webinar. So feel free to type in your questions and then we'll stop and answer them as we go. But let's get right to it. Okay. So first part, let's talk about the cameras. Later on, we're going to go over all the setup from using an NVR, a Bolide NVR. We're going to go over setup by logging into the cameras. And we're going to go over setup using the Bolide VMS. All right. So we're going to teach you guys how to use these cameras and all their built-in features. Okay. So let's talk about the three cameras. The first one is the BN9135PN. So this is our 180-degree bullet cameras. Highlights 4K resolution, a true 180-degree field of view. We're gonna show you guys the footage from the cameras in a little bit. Built-in PoE. This camera is weatherproof, indoor, outdoor, no problem. They got the built-in warm lights for full color at night. Also, your traditional IRs are here. They have the red and blue active deterrent lights. I'm going to show you guys how to utilize that later. Each camera has a built-in mic and speaker. So the beauty of it is a two-way audio here and also audio recording. These cameras also have a micro SD slot for backup into a micro SD card. These are, of course, like any Bolide IP camera, they're NDAA compliant. These are also ONVIF compliant. So using these with a third-party VMS, no problem. And lastly, the built-in AI. So there's a suite of license-free analytics that come with each of these cameras. So we're going to show you guys how to turn them on and how to take advantage of them. So next camera will be the BN9109PN. It's just like the bullet camera that I just went over, but it's a turret style camera. So the advantages of this camera for indoors, you know, if the bullet kind of stands out too much, this is a lower profile camera, being a turret, and it's got the same exact features as the bullet cameras. And the third, so this is the big boy. It's the dual sensor panoramic turret camera. So this is a turret. The difference is this has a dual 5-megapixel sensors that are stitched together, and this will give you maximum pixel density, maximum resolution, with all the built-in features that we talked about with the bullet and the first eyeball camera. Okay, Mike, so let's go on. I'm an installer and I'm buying these cameras to install them. I sold them to a customer. What would be my first steps? These are plug and play to the Bolide NVRs, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Okay.
So let's jump right into it.
So these are the three cameras, right? So yep. The BN9135PN is on which channel?
Is the 9135 is channel 3.
Channel 3. Okay, so let's maximize that so we can show our viewers what it looks like. All right, so This is when we talk about a true 180 degree. Look all the way to the left and look all the way to the right. See that wide coverage? That is really what you're going to be getting with these cameras. I see a car passing by there. See the car exiting all the way to the left, and that's really one block that we're covering here. Do a little bit of digital zoom, Mike. So on our NVR, you just scroll up on the mouse wheel and kind of go scroll, browse around, go to the right.
You can see that high pixel density. We're able to get a nice digital zoom on there. I can move that around.
So this is an outdoor. This is live
This is
right
live.
now in front of our building. So, okay, so exit out. And then the turret is on channel 2, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so it's almost same position. This one's a little bit lower, but you can tell same thing here. This is a true 180-degree camera. And lastly, this is the dual sensors. So you can tell the difference, right? So this is even an even wider coverage, and you have more pixel density, correct?
Yes, that's the main part of this camera is a more pixel density. Digital zoom is way better. Plus, there's also a stretch option here. Let me show you. So that's a stretch view, but you want to get the original view because this is a wide camera, wide angle. I'm sorry. You can see that view looks a lot better. And this option is here on the bottom. Stretch or original. So keep it in original. You get that whole nice wide angle, wide view display.
So the recorded image is what? It's 4K
4K.
resolution for
4K.
both for all three cameras?
Yes.
Okay.
So let's jump right into it. Let me
All right.
into our
So
recorder.
what we did here is just plug and play, right?
Yep.
Okay, so plug and play setup. We talked about some of the features of these cameras. We're gonna show you guys how to disable them or enable them and disable them. So go back out to so using our NVR, Bolide NVRs. So these are the latest NDA compliant NVRs. We're gonna go to setup, right?
Yep. Setup.
So setup,
Image control.
image control. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna turn on is the
Full color.
okay, so the warm lights.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we have three options in the image mode: full color, day, night, and then smart illumination, which is just gonna adjust your IRs for you. But it's really important that you know what mode you're on. Let me just bounce around real quick so I can describe to you. Let me go to channel 3. Day night mode allows me to adjust my IRs, right? If I'm in color mode, there's no IR since we're using the white light. There's no IR. So you'll see that I have no IR adjustment here because I'm using the spotlight on the camera. White light, automatic. Now I have a couple options there. I can set it to manual. I'm using WDR. Turn that off. I can set a schedule for it, or I can turn it off completely. And if I turn it off, I'm not going to have no white light. I'll just have it in full color mode, but there won't be any IRs as well. So we want to make sure that you're in the right mode, whatever mode you're using. Just take note of it to get these options right.
For those unfamiliar with full color at night with the warm lights, there's actual lights coming from the cameras at nighttime, right?
Yes.
But it looks like it's daytime.
Yes. So what it does is it disables the black and white and the infrared LEDs on it and just gives you the white light. So that's full color mode.
Yeah. Be aware there will be lights coming from the cameras.
Yes.
Right. So they're not too bright, but they're warm lights that are visible, but will allow the camera to see in full color.
Yeah, it's enough to just light up the area. You don't need any IRs. You don't need night vision. It's enough to just light up the whole area the camera's viewing.
We got a question, Mike. What is the distance for the warm light, full color at night?
30 meters. 30 meters, yeah.
30 meters, 30 feet.
30 meters.
30 meters.
Yeah. So we'll get across, we'll light up to across the way there.
Okay.
Sensitivity. If I have it on automatic, how sensitive are the lights going to come on? You can set them to actually be motion activated as well. And then I can always flip my images. So I can flip it vertically, horizontally. As you can see that, get a nice upside down view. I can flip it horizontally.
So these cameras can be wall mounted and ceiling mounted, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And also do the 180 if I have to, go out there, and you don't have to go to the camera to make an adjustment. You can do it remotely from the NVR itself. So that's a good plus for installers who, for whatever reason, you have to put a weird angle or flip the camera around. You don't want to go up and flip it again. You can do it remotely from the software.
All right. Question would be: do these have wide dynamic range?
They do. And you can see there I have wide dynamic on. It's a little bit of a gloomy day, so I wanted to brighten up the image a little bit. I turned that on. And I also have on wide dynamic, I also have an adjustment here. I can adjust how bright or how much lower I need to make the image in order to get in a nice view. Also, in our image compensation, we have highlight conditions. So anything that has too bright of a light, this will bring that light down, make it a little darker or brighter. You can see how my image adjusts when I hit that. And I also got a backlight compensation. So very similar to wide dynamic, but this allows me to adjust a certain area, center, top, right, left of the image, and it'll adjust to that area. So I'll leave it on WDR for now. Of course, I could turn that off. Let that process really quick. Also, you'll notice that I have a 3D noise reduction. So this is going to get rid of fuzz in the image. You can leave these on auto. They work best on auto, but if you do have to make an adjustment here, you can either turn it off or set it manually, and I can make the picture either have less or more adjustment to 3D noise. Turn that off. And then I have white balance. This is going to allow me to adjust colors, red, blue, green. You'll see that my image turned really purple because I turned this on. It's a manual setting. Again, you can leave these on auto, but if you do need to make some color adjustments, you can do that as well.
Out of the box, these will look nice, right?
Nice. Yeah, out of the box, you really shouldn't have to do anything. You'll have a nice color image. Out of the box, you're ready to go. Shutter speed. So to control the way the light comes in. You don't really have to adjust these at all. We used to use some adjustments for LPR. We don't have to do that anymore. Our cameras now support those. And the last one I want to go over is this lens distortion correction. So let me turn it off, and you'll see what happens to the image.
Is this the bullet, right?
Yeah, this is the bullet. So you'll see that at the corners, I got that round fish eye type view. What this setting does is allow you to stretch the image out, and I don't get that roundish image on the lens. So I'll turn it back on. You'll see the image get stretched and look better. And then this adjustment here, yeah, flattens the image out. And this adjustment here will just make either make the image a little flatter or a little more curved, depending on the field of view, which is a field of view adjustment. Yeah, if we have any questions on the image control, it's pretty straightforward. Yeah, out of the box, we're ready to go.
So really, when you're installing this, you just gotta select if you want it to be on full color or your traditional IR, right?
Yep. And so what I'm going to do is I had it on full color. I'm going to switch it to day-night mode for sake of our deterrences, which I'm going to go to next. You'll see that on day-night mode, we have some options on how our IR is going to get turned on, right? I can either do a day mode, which is full color, no black and white. I can do black and white image. You see that change.
This is IR's on.
IR's on. Or I can do image mode. What image mode is that the sensor is going to detect whether it's light, if it's daytime or nighttime, and will automatically turn on your IRs if need be. And then I have a sensitivity adjustment here as well. And then lastly, you'll also notice that I have an IR control. This is pretty cool. I can adjust the beam on how bright the IRs are coming on. I can lower it or I can intensify it. But there's also a smart IR feature. So I recommend smart IR. This is going to adjust on its own. If there's an image too close to the IR, it'll adjust so you don't get that whiteout, that bounce back. Yeah, the camera will sense it and adjust it for you. In certain situations, you do want to switch it to manual. Maybe there's some kind of reflective material in the front, and you just need to lower the intensity of the IRs just to get a better image. And maybe the smart IRs causing too much adjustment. And you can always manually adjust that. So those are our two image settings that you will have to be aware of. And also, of course, there's a schedule. You can also set a schedule to the image if you want it to be, full color, maybe in the wee hours of the morning. And then as the sun starts to come up, you want to make that day night change. You can always set it on the schedule. So those are important because when we go to next is our alarm and deterrence features.
So he's talking about the red and blue deterrence lights and the cameras.
Yes.
So these are great. This is a great feature, but we really want to know how we can utilize it, right?
Yep.
So what is it for? To scare away possible intruders, right?
Yep.
Via the red and blue lights going off, like police lights.
Yep.
And also
white light.
White light.
Yep. So then, and real quick,
and
I want
siren, right?
And siren.
Yeah.
So I want to show you really quick. So you notice that if I go back to my image control, right, and I'm going to go channel 1 set to full color, right? So let me go back to my alarm. You'll see here that I cannot control the white light feature because I have it on full color. I can only control my warning light. But if I want to control that white light feature, I got to go back into my image control, channel 1, changes to day-night mode. Once that is saved, now when I go back to my alarm and my deterrence, now I can control that white light because I don't have it on full color mode. So keep that in mind that we get a lot of calls saying my white light's not working or it is working and I can't turn it off. Got to be aware of these settings of the image control white light settings. It's actually going to be your day-night settings, image mode.
All right. So let's go back to what menu do we go for the deterrent? So you have to go to setup.
So setup, let's go
then
setup, alarm,
alarm,
and then deterrence.
Deterrence.
Right? And you'll see there's a couple columns, right? The first column is a setup column. You come in here and I can set up, enable my white light, and then my duration of how long I want it. And then I can also set up my warning light, which is my my blue and red light, and how I want those to be displayed.
So and 1 minute here.
1 minute is default. Now, once I set those lights up, there's a couple ways I can have them triggered, right? So if I come over here to my schedule, you'll notice I have a bunch of different AI in motion settings. So there's a 24-hour time grid here. Let's say that I only want to do pedestrian and vehicle detection from midnight until 10, and then I want to turn that off until 2000 hours. So I won't be detecting any. Actually, I will be detecting. I just won't have my deterrence come on at these times that I've blocked off, right? And I can do that for any of my AI or any of my motion, and be sure to always turn this on. And this will control my light switch, right? So whatever I have on, let's go back here. If I have my white light and my red and blue light, I can control that with my schedule here. And this is the same for all of these here, right? Now, any questions?
Does the dual sensor have 2 sets of red and blue lights, or is it just one?
Just one. One red, one blue. Well, one red and blue is controlled together, right?
Oh, okay.
So light would be white light, warning light would be red and blue light.
Okay. What about the siren?
So siren, yeah, good question. So once we set our lights up, we want our lights triggered on, let's say, I think I said pedestrian, right? Got our lights triggered for that. Now I also want the siren to go on. So you notice there's a siren button down here at the bottom. Really easy to do. Turn it on. We have a couple different sirens to choose from. Police type siren. And then you'll also notice that I have a siren duration. That's how long in seconds I'm going to have it on. And then volume and again, schedule. So if I wanted to do again, pedestrian, I want to block that off through here, save it. Very simple, very straightforward, just like it was in the deterrent section.
How loud is the siren for these cameras? Is for close quarters or for open space?
You can have it close quarters, of course, is going to be a lot louder. Open space, you can have it. We do now have a large siren if you need more sound, but it's pretty loud. It's enough to deter anybody that's coming to the camera. It's a tiny speaker, right? Yeah. It's not giant, but it's enough to deter for sure.
So while we're on the topic of audio, I want to set up audio recording 1 and also 2-way audio.
Great question. So we get a lot of questions, and we get a lot of customers who do the install, they leave and they forget to put on the audio. So this is a great question. In our record settings,
So setup, then
yeah, so let's
record.
go. So record, encode. You'll notice if you scroll to the right, I have an audio column. Let's turn those on, and our audio is on. Now, this is something that a lot of people forget to do. I turned it on mainstream, which is our record stream. That's good. But we'll get calls saying, I turned the audio on. I'm still not hearing it on my mobile device. I'm not hearing audio on my VMS. It's normally because we forgot to turn it on substream, which is our viewing stream. So also, mainstream, substream, turn both of those on.
So you got to scroll to the right
scroll to the right
to see the audio.
Yeah. Sometimes it's on the screen, sometimes it's not. If you don't see it, it's a quick scroll to the right. Right. And then another call we get a lot of, I turn the audio on, but I can't hear, the volume's too low. You'll notice there's an audio option all the way to the side. And by default, everything's turned up to 9. You know, we got volume as high as it goes. But sometimes it's a little too loud for close quarters, or for whatever reason, we need to lower it. And then we also have a couple different types of codec, depending on maybe you're using it on some kind of server that requires a different type of audio codec. We support G711A and G711U. Those are our two supported audio codecs.
All right. And what about two-way voice? Is there any other menu setting for the two-way voice? And how do I speak into the camera?
Yeah, so everything's going to be here. Once you turn this on, it's enabled. My audio's on here. That's it. That's going to be both for two-way audio.
Now, so how do I talk to the person in front of the camera?
So person in front of the camera, all they have to do. So depending on if you're using your phone, there is a option on the phone with a little microphone. Hit that, hold it down, and you're able to speak through the speakers. Right. Also on the phone is a little speaker to hear what's going on. So once this is on, the microphones are always on the camera. So now I'm recording audio 24/7. I'm hearing everything that's going on.
Okay. So you're using the Bolide Quick Connect app.
Yep.
For the two-way audio.
Two-way audio.
Speak into it like a phone, right? And
yep. Also, if you wanted to do it from your computer and you had a microphone on your computer, you can also do it that way. If you're using your VMS, that's another way to do it. Most people use the phone.
If you have a laptop with a microphone and you have the Bolide VMS,
correct,
you can speak into.
Correct. Yep. And then you'll notice on the VMS we have a little microphone you have to enable. It's a one-click button. But we'll get to that. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. So we went over the full color at night, the red and blue deterrent lights. We showed the images of the cameras, right?
Yep.
If I'm using this camera with a third-party VMS, how do I access these features from the camera?
Good question. So let me switch over here and I'll.
So there's no Bolide NVR.
Yeah, so we're going straight.
These are ONVIC compliant. You know the profile for these cameras, the ONVIC profile?
Profile S.
Profile S.
Yes. Let me log into my camera here. Give me a second. Let's go into 26. 6. IP address. 6. Okay.
Okay, so
let me pull this over here.
So now we're logging into the individual camera, right?
Yeah, let me share mine. Okay, so you can see that. There's our GUI. I'm going to log into my camera directly. There we go. Let me get rid of this stuff here. There's my camera view.
Okay, so same features, for example, the white light. Let's just try to get to where the menus are.
Yeah, so I'm going to go in here again. Image control. You'll see I have the same settings. Day-night mode, full color mode. Right, let that go in. You'll see the same exact settings I have in the NVR, I have in here. So if you're using an ONVIF profile, you want to come and log into the camera and adjust these before you plug it into the NVR. Or if it's on the network, then you really don't have to worry about that. You can just use your IP address here and log directly into the camera. Same thing with my events here. You notice I have my deterrence. Same options. I have it on full color, so I can adjust that.
Okay, so it's all there. Right?
It's all here. Everything's here that you'll see in the recorder. Same exact settings.
All right, perfect. All right, so going back to using the NVR, I want to turn on the AI features on these cameras, right?
Right.
So the bullet and the turret single sensor has human and vehicle detection, among others, line cross detection, perimeter detection. Oh, you showing that right there?
Yeah.
Cross count for sound detection, among others. There's a few here. These are all license free. These are all free. Um, you guys don't need to pay anything aside from just the cameras and the NVRs.
Yeah.
So we're gonna make one example here on turning this on, and we think this is probably the most useful AI in these camera is human detection. So what is the point of doing this? Normally, if you set the cameras for motion detection, right? There's a lot of false alarms. Motion detection is really anything that's moving, a moving pixel on the screen. So let's replace, if I'm the installer, like most of our viewers are installers, I would replace using motion detection with human detection. So I will only be recording if there's a person in front of the camera. It's pretty smart.
Yeah.
And also get notifications on your Bolide app, the Quick Connect app, if there are humans in front of any of these cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's turn that on.
So this is on. I do want to go over a couple things.
Go back. Actually, go back. So you go to setup AI, right?
Yeah. So let's go from the beginning. So setup, detection setup, and then you have all your AI stuff here at top. I'm going to go human vehicle.
So pedestrian and vehicle is human and vehicle detection.
Yep.
So you
I'm going to turn the switch
check
on.
the box, right?
Yep. Apply it, and then I want to go in and set it up. And I'm going to go over some of these. So capture mode, real time, intervals, and default's the best, right? You shouldn't really, I need to adjust that. But a really important option here is this minimum pixels and maximum pixels. So this is the minimum amount of pixels that the camera is going to detect, right? Human or vehicle. So you can see this box is very small. Anything smaller than that, it's not going to pick it up. But that's pretty small. A human in a vehicle is actually going to be bigger than that picture. Then I have a maximum pixel. So this is the largest that it's going to detect. Cars and people. If someone's really close to the camera, you might want to have this large window enabled. If someone's smaller, you'll notice Ken's walking out there now. It's picking him up really easily. You see it detecting him. Really easy. Turn it on, and you'll notice it's detecting right away. So it's really smart, and then it just gets smarter. It's AI. It gets smarter as we go. And then you'll notice here there's a sensitivity. You can leave everything default. It picked him up right away. And then I have a couple of detection options. Pedestrian, motor vehicle, which is a vehicle, and then non-motorized vehicle. So maybe like a bicycle, something like that. So those are our three options to detect. And then I have a detection mode, hybrid or motion. You'll notice that motion is only going to detect these three options that are moving. But if I change it to hybrid, you'll notice here that it says hybrid detects stationary and moving objects. So it's going to get both. So why would I need this? For instance, like I have cars parked in my parking lot. If I have this on hybrid mode, it's going to constantly be detecting those cars. So what I want to do is I want to change it to motion mode. That way it's only detecting vehicles and people that are actually moving, right? I don't want to be detecting these parked cars constantly because I'm going to get all kinds of notifications. So keep that in mind. Hybrid and motion detection. Hybrid is for still and moving objects. Motion is for motion only. Yeah.
You guys capture me?
Yes.
Let's test the vehicle.
Yeah.
For licensing.
Yeah, let's go. We're going to do another test here. Actually, I'm going to open this up here. And I'm going to blow this one up, and I want to see. This is something. It's going to detect some vehicles now. Ken's taking another walk outside. You'll notice that I have on the right-hand side here all of my notifications. So in motion, vehicle, pedestrian, any other option that I turn on, I will see it here. So give me a second. Let me turn my audio off because I do hear that. Back to encode. Turn the audio off. Fly. Okay, and then my mainstream. Feedback like we were hearing now. Okay. back to my image. So you'll notice it's detecting his vehicle. And I can go back and I can do playback from there, right? There it is. You can see the square. It's detecting my vehicle. You can also hear the audio coming through because I had that on. But yeah, I can see my license plate. I can see my vehicle, detects it right away. And that's that. So let me come back here. Here it is, detecting my vehicle again. And let me go back into my settings. Quick. Deterrence. And we're going to go over to, okay. Yeah. So any questions regarding any of the options that we went over so far? You'll notice here, I do want to point out that it did start to get my license plate as well. There's my license plate being tracked. I can go hit the play button and it's going to grab a license plate as he pulls away. There it is. You see the little square around my license plate. Again, I'm going to come back and it did capture the license plate there. And now I can actually enter this into my database, right? I can import to my allow list, and I can go ahead and, fill out all the user information that I want for that license plate. So that adds to our database. So again, the only 180 camera that has this option would be the dual sensor that has the license plate and also the face recognition. Yeah. So any other questions regarding those options?
Do we have a question here? Can I search by license plates?
Yes. So like I showed you, I just added this to my license plate list, right? I'm going to go here. I'm going to go to my search, right? And I'm going to go to my AI functions. And then I can go to license plates. And there it is. It's already there, right? There's my license plate. I can do the playback. I'm going to capture the license plate. And I already have this in my database. So this is now part of my database. And I can search this license plate anytime it comes through.
Another question here. Can you upload license plates into the database?
Yes, good question. Let's go over that really quick since we brought it up. Let me go to AI detection, right? And then I'm going to go to my recognition area, license plate management, and edit, right? And then I can do an import, right? I can import my license plate manually, type it in, all the information that I need. It's one way to do it. The other way to do it is from a CSV file. I can upload that, all the information.
So you can actually upload a database from Excel file?
From an Excel file. And then I can also share that amongst all my recorders who have license plate recognition.
Is there a specific format for these spreadsheets?
Yes, it will. So it will be a SVC file. We can save it and then edit that file. Okay. And then the last way to do it is locally, right? I can do a search. I already found it, right? And those are 3 ways to add license plates to the database. It's really easy, really straightforward, really user-friendly. A couple clicks and then you can do it. And it's the same for the face recognition as well. I didn't turn that on, but it works the same way. Okay, so, I can import from either my local storage or an external storage file and add those faces. So those work the same. But you see how easy it worked. A couple clicks and it's already getting license plates and detecting humans and vehicles.
Perfect. All right. So those are the AI functions and how to turn them on. Next would be I'm using Bolide VMS. How do I manage these cameras?
Okay, so let me open up my VMS.
So if you guys are new to the Bolide world as installers, we have a free downloadable VMS. It's called Bolide VMS. So this is our software for PC and Mac. And really, this is full-fledged. You can manage many NVRs, many DVRs. We have one software for everything. You can see, Mike, you have the software up, right?
Yeah.
You can display as many devices as you want, up to 128 cameras on the screen at the same time, correct?
Yep.
Go down to here. I'm just going to show the maximum number of cameras you can display. I can show 128 cameras. So if you guys have a customer that want to manage their systems remotely, this would be your solution. You put this up on a computer, outputting to a large screen TV. It's going to look nice. They can see all their cameras. If it's a multiple site kind of customer, it's perfect because you can add as many as you'd like. And really, you have full control of everything as if you're in front of the NVR with this software. So let's go to managing these cameras on the VMS. So how do we get there?
So you'll see that I already have my recorder added, but let's say I want to manage my cameras away from my recorder, right? So let's go to the recorder first. I can go into my remote parameters.
Sorry, Mike. I'll start from the top. Go to you got it. So you're once you open up this Bolide VMS, you're going to be on the home page, right?
Yeah.
Go to device management first, and you'll see your NVRs that are connected.
Yeah.
Now, the way we're set up here, the cameras are plugged into the back of the NVR, right?
No, I actually put them on the network for this purpose.
Put them on the network.
Yeah, because I want to show how easy it is to add them.
Okay.
So you see, I already have my recorder here, and let me go in here really quick. This is just everything I went over.
So that button, go back. So there's a couple of buttons here.
Yeah.
The one you're looking for is remote parameter.
Yeah.
Press
the second icon. And this is everything I went over in the recorder. Same exact stuff. Image control. I can control each camera.
Sorry. Okay, so that's going back to the white light function.
Yep.
IR function.
IR functions.
So it's under channel image control. So it's very similar to. Actually, it looks like when you log onto the camera.
Yeah.
Right? And it's very similar to the NVR GUI.
Yep. And also you'll see my deterrence here.
So deterrence is the red and blue light.
The difference between the two is, if you noticed on the recorder, I can do all the channels at once. On the software, you got to do one at a time. But I can copy on some of them. But most of the time, you got to do them one at a time. That's the major difference. But other than that, it's the same. You see my siren here. Same options. Now, let's say that I want to control these cameras using my software, and I want to add them. There's a couple ways to add them. The first way is if you have all the network information or the P2P ID, I can fill this information in here, just like this, right? And I can add it that way. But the other way to add it is if you're on the same network. You'll notice I have some options up here. Auto search. I'm going to hit search. It's going to run through my network and find all the cameras and recorders that I have on my network. And we'll go down here. You'll notice that I have my 3 180s. I can check mark these. I'm going to add them. So my BN 9135 PN, my BN 9109 PN dual, and then my BN 9109 PN. I check mark them. I can now hit add. All I need to do is add my username and password, which is admin and admin. Oops. You can always check your password here. Go ahead and add them. You'll notice that now they say activated. Go back to my all equipment, and you'll notice now that I have 3 devices, and the status column is green. Right?
Green means they're online.
Green means they're online. And just really quick, let me jump back over here. Let me close my whole NVR, and now I can do individual cameras.
So if it's an application where you have to use the micro SD card of the camera, right, for storage, you can use these as standalone devices.
Yeah.
Okay. Recording into the internal micro SD cards.
Yep, and then play them back and use live view. Use the VMS just like if it was a recorder. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so I went back, I added my cameras. Now let's say I want to do some work in my cameras, just like I did with the NVR, my remote parameters, the second icon. I can click there, and this is just like if I typed in my GUI, the IP address. I got all the same settings here. Again, image control has, my white light settings, my exposure settings, and then I also have my event setup, which is my deterrence and my siren. Just like in the NVR, or just like the remote settings in the browser GUI, as well as AI stuff. Oops, I'm gonna go off. There we go. Yeah. Any questions so far regarding any of this settings that we've gone over? Everything's very user friendly. We don't get too many issues with this stuff. It's very user friendly.
The thing with these cameras is there's really a lot of applications for them. You can put them outside facing, just like our demo here. I'll pull up the camera again, the image. Yeah, you can put them indoors, like a warehouse would be a fit for this solution. And really, especially for the cost of these cameras, it's replacing two cameras, and really you get as wide coverage as you need. And I've seen some similar solutions out there, but this one, I'm telling you, I mean, you guys can see it, will give you a true 180-degree coverage.
Yeah. And then really quick, guys, just wanted to just point out, I know I showed you on the recorder, you can do the stretched image or original image. That is here on the VMS. That's last icon. And you can do 16:9, 4:3. Original ratio is going to give you the extra wide screen for the dual. And then, of course, original. Doesn't smash that dual up too much. Yeah.
Yep. So this so these three cameras, you guys keep in mind that whether you have used these, hope this webinar helped you guys go over the menu buttons to enable and disable features. And also hope you guys were more informed now on how to turn on the AI, what AI are available here, and how to manage these cameras from in front of it on the NVR, in the cameras themselves, and using the Bolide VMS.
And I do want to point out really quick, guys, that I know I went over the active deterrent settings. This is also the same setup for our BN8019 AD or any cameras that have the active deterrent options. It's the same for all of them.
Correct. Yeah. And the white light also, right?
White light as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the same setup for all the full color cameras. We have your 3 points or 2.8 millimeter turret,
AD,
full color, and active deterrent.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that wraps up our webinar, right? We'll stick around for a little bit. If you guys have questions, you can type them up and we'll answer them. Maybe a couple more minutes. But thanks, guys, for taking the time to join us. I hope we're able to educate you guys a little bit more on these new solutions. These are great. So sell them, sell the technology, and separate yourselves from the competition. Thank you, guys, and you guys have a good rest of the day.
You guys have a good one. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, leave it on for a few minutes and then we'll answer a question. Pricing. Oh, okay, good question. The attendees for this webinar, we're gonna send you guys price information, all of you guys. So after this, expect this in your inbox. For your colleagues or friends that cannot make it today, this webinar is recorded and we're gonna upload it on YouTube for you guys to rewatch later. Maybe you missed something, or if you forgot a step, you can always go back and watch this, and or also forward this to your whoever you want it, you think would benefit from this recording. Okay, that should wrap it up. Thanks, Mike, for doing this webinar.
Thank you, Ken.
With me. And our viewers, hope to catch you guys on the next one.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good rest of the day.